Hello everyone, it's Thumper the Rabid Rabbit, and I'm here to demonstrate the new build of my advanced automated boathouse that is now secure thanks to our good friend the HBHF sensor that is available as of the February 2019 electricity updates. In the previous build I'd used a laser sensor which only offered partial security, which didn't keep your base secure while you were out. And it used quite a few more components, including the memory cell for the logic of keeping the door open or locking it and so forth. This is a much simpler build that uses all common components except for the HBHF, but it does keep your base secure. I did not put a roof or walls on this base. Obviously you would do that. I just want to leave it open so it's easier to see what I'm building here. And here's the components you're going to need for this. Not very many. You need 3 branches, a pressure plate, an HBHF sensor, a door controller, a timer, an OR switch, and an AND switch. I'm going to show you how to use all these components for this build. First, let's start with bringing in our power source. I'm just using a couple of solar panels here. I'd strongly recommend building yourself a little UPS system for battery backup if you want to use this at night or when your power is low. But if you're only planning on using it during the day, no big deal. This build should only take about 17 or 18 units of power, so technically it could be run off of a single solar panel with full light. But again, having a little extra power never hurts. So first thing I'm going to do is bring my main power I've got here from these 2 solar panels, is 40 units. I'm going to bring it into this branch here. And I'm using branches to split out my power so that I can configure it. So first I'm going to take this power out, bring it over to the other branch, and now I've got 2 sources I can tap off of. And I'm going to put the 3rd branch over on this wall just for convenience, and I'll show you what this is for later. But it's going to use the remainder of the power that we have available here, so plugging that into the power out here. So step 1 to this is having a way to open the door and get out. For that, I'm going to use a timer and a pressure plate. The pressure pad is here to trigger and open the door, but since I want the door to stay open for a period of time, so I have time to leave, I'm going to hook it up to a timer. So here's the timer, and I'm going to hook its toggle to the output of the pressure pad. So when you step on the pressure pad, it starts the timer. I'm going to need a couple units of power from this to run the door. So first I'm just going to take this branch. This will be our power source for the timer. I'm going to take this branch, and this is going to be our power source for the pressure pad. And in this case, we can leave the branch for the pressure pad at its default setting of 2. We only need 2 units of power. 1 for the pressure pad, 1 for the toggle on the timer. It doesn't go beyond there, so no big deal. I'm going to go ahead and set this to, let's say, 15 seconds. That's going to be the amount of time that the door stays open and allows us to get in the boat, start it up, and get out the door. Now, the timer is going to be the device that activates this door from the inside. The HBHF is going to be the thing that activates it from the outside. But we're not activating anything until we have a door controller. So I'm going to go ahead and place a door controller next to my garage door here. And since it's closed and unlocked, I haven't put a lock on here yet, I'm going to go ahead and pair it. Now once you got that set up, not a bad idea to put a lock on your door. And that will keep all your strangers out. Now, since we're going to be able to open this door with 2 different sources, we need an OR switch in front of the door controller. This is so that we can bring in a timer on one of these and the HBHF circuit on the other, and either one of them will open the door. So first, I'm going to hook up the timer because that's what we're going to use for getting out of the base. And there's one important change we're going to need to make here. The OR switch will go into the door controller. There's one change we need to make before this will work. One thing you're going to notice is we have a door controller, that's 1 unit of power, an OR switch, that's another unit, so there's 2, and the timer itself consumes power, so that's another unit, that's 3. So this branch that's powering our timer, we need to change from 2 units to 3 units. Otherwise, there's not going to be enough power to make it all the way down to open the door. So now that we have this all set, this pressure pad should go ahead and open this door for 15 seconds. You can see timer's running, door's open. There we go. So now our get out of the boathouse circuit is working. I'm going to jump in here and start it up. And I want to open this door manually for this next part because I don't want it automatically closing on me. But I do need to, having a boat here with you is handy because you can use it as a form of scaffolding to just kind of stand here and work outside the door. It's a little more convenient. One of the reasons is it makes it easier for me to place the HBHF out here. So I'm just going to stick that above the door so we can use it to trigger coming back in. But there's an important limitation to the HBHF, and that is it only puts out the number of units of power of people it's detecting. So if you're alone in this boat and you come back, that HBHF is only going to put out 1 unit of power. That's a problem, because if we put 1 unit of power into this side of the OR switch, the OR switch will consume that 1 unit. There will be no power left to open the door. We need at least 2 units of power coming to this point. So here we're going to use the combination of HBHF and AND switch in order to get a little extra power. The AND switch activates when both inputs have power, and then it uses the higher of the 2. So I'm going to take this branch, put it into one side of the AND switch, and then it's going to be the thing that opens the door. So the AND switch needs 1 unit, the OR switch needs 1 unit, and the door controller needs 1 unit. So I'm going to set that branch to 3 units of power. Now, when this circuit triggers, there will be 3 units of power, not 1, to come around and open this. That 1 unit of power from the HBHF, we're going to use that to complete the other side of the AND equation and turn this on. It only needs 1 unit of power here to turn to make this side turn green, and with both of them green or present, it's going to send the higher of the 2 power loads through, which is the 3 units we need to open the door. So I'm going to take what I got left over on this branch here, which is way too much, but that's okay. And I'm going to use that as my power source for the HBHF. So I bring this out here, bring it to the input. Now the HBHF is powered on. I'm going to take its output, the 1 unit that it's giving me. I'm going to bring it back in here, run it into the other side of the AND switch. Oops. The handle. There we go. And now it should work to let us back in. Now I'm authorized on this tool cabinet, so I'm going to come out here and I'm going to use my hammer to configure the HBHF, and I'm going to say include authorized. So that's me and the people who you'd probably want coming in here. And then I'm going to say exclude others. That way strangers can't open this door and get into my base. Now, go ahead and mount this, start her up. I'm going to go back inside. And you'll see the door closed because it was triggered off that HBHF, but then I came inside and it couldn't see me anymore. One of the reasons I chose the pressure pad inside instead of an HBHF is if you happen to be running from the cops or pirates or somebody who's coming after you, and you want to run through this door, the HBHF sensor will only open the door while it detects you. So when it sees you coming, it'll open. But as soon as you pass through the door and it can't see you anymore, it's going to close right behind you. And that keeps the bad guys outside and lets you in. If you use an HBHF sensor in here to open the door, then as soon as you come through the door, that HBHF sensor is going to see you and it's going to keep the door open and let the bad guys in behind you. So I prefer to use a pressure pad or maybe a laser detector as the trigger to let you out. You could also just walk up here and hit the timer by hand if you don't want to use a pressure pad. But when I'm going out fishing, I just kind of want to hit the door and go. So here's an example of how this entire circuit works. This is done now and working. So I'm going to hit the pressure pad, door's going to open, and now we got 15 seconds to get out. Mount the boat, engine started, I start backing out. I now have 15 seconds to get clear, or if I stay within 20 meters, the HBHF will keep it open. But if I back off 20 meters, there you go. Door closes, and now you can go out fishing, you can go out pirating, you can go out and, kill the cargo ship or whatever it is you do. And while you're gone, no one can get in there except other authorized people. If they're not authorized on your tool cabinet, that HBHF is not going to open the door. But now let's say we got some pirates chasing us in here, so we're going to haul butt into this door. As soon as you get within 20 meters, the HBHF opens the door, we go inside. As soon as we're through the door, it closes, and ta-da! We sit in here with our loot, laughing at the pirates who are now locked outside the base because the door closed right behind us. And it's not going to open again until another authorized user approaches it from the outside or until you hit that pressure pad. So if you're worried about accidentally hitting the pressure pad, then just use the timer. A little less power, one less branch, blah, blah, blah. Even simpler. So there you have it. Let me take a step back here so that you can see the whole setup. You've got the pressure pad that triggers the timer to open it from the inside. You've got an HBHF that triggers the AND switch to put the 3 units of power you need through the OR switch to open the door. You got a couple branches for branching out the power that you need. And just a little advanced here, if you're wondering how much power you need to run this, we can do the math here. Pressure pad needs 1. And it needs 1 to power the timer, so you need 2 for this circuit. Pressure pad circuit needs 2. Plus this branch itself consumes 1, so that's 3 for that whole circuit. Now you need 1 to run this, that's a total of 4. 1 to run the timer, that's a total of 5. 1 to run the OR switch, that's 6, and 1 for the door controller, that's 7. So that's a maximum of 7 to get the door to open. Alright? Then, for the circuit that opens it from the outside, if you want to over budget and make sure you have enough for both to work, you're going to need 1 for this, that would be 8. 2 going out the branch, the HBHF, that's 9 for the HBHF, and 10 to trigger this side of the AND. Then you need the units coming out of here, which is the 3 coming out, so you need 11 is the AND switch, 12 is the OR switch, and 13 is the door controller on this circuit. So grand total you should need about 13, did I do that right, about 13 units of power, maybe 14 for good measure, to run this whole thing. So you could run it off 1 solar panel if you happen to be in a always daytime server, and the sun doesn't move, you could do that. You need a little bit more than a small battery for the backup if you want to do it off battery backup. You could break this up. These power sources can be independent, so you could have 1 circuit of 7 with a battery and another circuit of whatever that would be, another 6 or 7 with a battery if you want to do that. Lots of different possibilities here. But this circuit, using all standard components except for that new component, the HBHF, is all you need to make yourself a secure, lockable, automatic door boathouse for running from the pirates and having a jolly good fishing time. That's it. Good luck, and don't suck.